Test. What's crack-a-lackin', boys and girls? How are y'all doing today? It's your boy Z-Rex. We live on this beautiful Monday down here in ATX. It's a very nice day. We're in the 70s for the day. What? If you're not from Texas, you know that that's cold here. Bringing out the winter jackets, down comforters. You know, we can't handle it when it gets below 80 here. That is pretty much freezing. I had to winterize my cars and vehicles that I don't drive all the time. You know, it's pretty brutal out here. It's cold, cold times. Anyway, hope y'all are having a great Monday, start of the week. Happy Mondays, all that good stuff. Let me put on the live scene before I forget that, because I do, and I have done that many a times. Anyway, let's just get into some price action. Pretty interesting day so far. We got some nice pumpage on Bitcoin following through above that zone we were looking at in the video a couple of days ago. I also did notice this kind of possible cup and handle pattern. We might have talked about it yesterday or the other day, but I don't remember. We kind of have a little bit of cup and handle pattern on the total market cap. So are we going to possibly have some little coffee time coming up here? I don't know, maybe. If that was the case, and we did break above this zone at about 2.5 trillion, looks like it's a little higher, like 2.6. Looks like I've had an alert on here for a while. We start doing that, and we can start talking about some moonshots, boys and girls. But right now, we're almost there. It's looking really, it's building up to look pretty sexy. The only thing is, there's no really good, great momentum yet. It's just kind of just starting. At least looking at these charts. And if you go back over here to Bitcoin dominance chart, it seems to be rallying pretty well off this really long H pattern. As we discussed the other day, if we could get above like 49 bucks on the daily, Bitcoin is probably going to eat some lunches on this altcoin world, which we've actually already kind of seen. Like, most of the altcoins are not pumping like they were before. So definitely a little bit different behavior than the previous year or so. Bitcoin is now taking the charge a little bit, even over Ethereum. Ethereum is not able to get over this 618 zone right here, this box that I have drawn on here that we've been watching. And, you know, another rejection today. So Ethereum definitely not playing ball, and that's kind of the story across most of the coins. There are a couple outliers that I like that I mentioned a couple of days ago still. Like, I think XRP is an interesting one here. Was it DOT? Yeah, DOT was okay. And there's another one, I believe it wasn't Link. It wasn't Doge. Shit, I don't remember. Just had to go look at that other video. Whatever. Everything hasn't really done anything price-wise except for Bitty Bitcoins. Bitty Bitcoins is doing fairly well right now. No problems. Well, let's erase this. Let's clean the chart up a little bit. You can see this VWAP here from the all-time highs did provide some really good support, but I'm just kind of cleaning the chart up. Those are easy to put back on. And, you know, like, look where the price came down to this horizontal off of this this green dashed line. This is what we were talking about the other day, that as long as we're kind of holding this, we are in bull mode. And so we kind of did dip below it for a quick little flash second. Nice dump. That's the target we were looking for, was like 51K. Pretty hilarious. It just goes there immediately. And if we zoom in a lot on the time frame, it actually did it in less than 10 minutes. So now, is this bad data? It could be the case. But, you know, just a little flash dump there. Actually, let's go look real quick. Let's look at a different exchange. Let's look at Coinbase. Let's see. Where are you now? Yeah, maybe that's just a bad tick then. Maybe it didn't go there. Let's look at Bitfinex. Yeah, so we're going to rule that as actually a bad tick. So it probably did not go there. Let's go to Bittrex. Yeah, so it's actually only on Bitstamp. So I don't know what happened with Bitstamp there. Just a little bad data feed. No big deal. What is this guy here? Let's extend that to the right, because that might be interesting. Oops, not to the left. Just on the right. Look, we're banging up against the bottom of it. Okay, okay. Yeah, and so we technically are below the underbelly here. You can't really, it's hard to see on the higher time frames. We zoom in a little bit to the 3 hour, you can see it. We are technically below it and trying to get back above it. So, yeah, I mean, it's okay. I will say the thing that is a little bit concerning is on the 3 hour, which I typically don't use, but the 3 hour actually has bears having momentum on this pump, which is not generally the best sign. And we do have bearish divergence as well on the RSI. What about the daily? Daily still looks fine. There's no problems with the daily, so it's just the lower time frame sub-daily that are giving us a little bit of issues. And yeah, it is getting exciting. This is pretty nice. And just like I said the other day, this is cool and all that jazz. We do need the open and close to be above these candles. So we've got one. Let's see if they can pump through the rest of this week and stay the bulls, that is, above this 55,000 handle. That would actually look pretty damn good for some continuation. Let's go to futures. Futures have definitely reset. They're attempting to reset on the daily. So now on this setup right here, what I would really like to see is a retest into the low 50s. And this would set up really nice for a lower risk entry for long positions. Because right now this thing is straight vertical. So that is one thing that's a little bit concerning. Now, Bitcoin can go straight vertical for longer than you think. But right now, it looks pretty good, and until we really start breaching back below, you know, about 54-ish, I don't really have any concerns on this. Ethereum is the only one that's just a little bit concerning, but with Bitcoin just kind of taking the reins right now across the board, you know, maybe it's going to take a while for some of these altcoins to catch up. But I do not like that Bitcoin or that Ethereum is not participating, because Unicorn Shirt Man has been leading this pretty much this entire rally since it began a couple of years ago, roughly. So, but we do have the reset. We don't have any oscillators really giving agreeance to the reset on the EMAs. So I would like to see that, and we still are bearish on the 458. So I'd like that to flip around. Let's see. Same with the 3 hour, same with the daily. It's not reset yet on the futures. So Unicorn Shirt Man's got some work to do. But hey, man, Bitcoin above 54K in this little consolidation up here, it does look fairly good. On the bear side, if it did start breaching below these levels at 53,000 handle, and we start camping down there a little bit, I would start to look for tests into at least the low 50s and maybe even the upper 40s. And that doesn't make it super bearish yet, because that would technically just be a retest of the 618 zone, which would actually be pretty healthy if we did come back down there for another moonshot. If we do that and start rallying again, I would probably look for all-time highs after that if we started basing in this zone. So I'm not saying bearish by any means on this chart until we kind of start seeing some of that stuff. And then we have to obviously reassess because we get new information every day. Anyway, Litecoin, a lot of these are going to be boring, middle of the range, don't care. XRP looks a little bit better here. I like it above about 110, 106. I think that's perfectly safe above those. So nothing's changed since the last video. Next target's about mid 130s. Sub 106 would probably go to $1, and then you got to watch out there. We get back below $1, this thing's probably going to break down. I mean, these charts I feel like are fairly easy to read right now. ETC not looking too great. I don't really like this chart. I don't like it on the 450. Yeah, there's just no momentum yet here. This is not that great. And I'm going to fly through these. DOT looks okay above 31 handle. Looks fine. Major resistance, though, at like 38. ADA. Kind of just chopping sideways here. It doesn't look too hot. Linky Poo in the middle of this stupid range. Probably extend that. We'll probably need it. Any price back below like 23.60, I would start to target the low 20s and then reassess. And then conversely to the upside, just above this little range here, 27.50, easy peasy, man. This looks pretty whack. I mean, it's okay above 420. Lose 420. That's when I start getting bull or bear boners. And bull boners really above $5, kind of just in the middle of the range. A lot of this stuff looks the same. You know, with Bitcoin taking the lead, like all these altcoins aren't really going to pump that much unless it's Shiba Inu, and Akita Inu, and some of these Inu Doge, the meme, extra memey Dogecoin. Is that a meme coin of a meme coin? What does that mean? Meme squared? What is that meme? Oh, God. Here we go. Dad joking it up. BSV actually looks kind of good here. I do like that it's consolidating on the upper half of this big candle, and it's allowing the EMAs to reset, and we're about to get confirmation from the DMI and everything. Almost today. Yeah, it will be today. It'll look a little better tomorrow if we just close above 166, but BSV might actually be something to pay attention to right now. I'm actually going to throw this on my crypto watch list and keep an eye on that one because that is very interesting. All right, what else do we want to look at? Ah, crap. XMR. XMR is actually at an interesting spot here. Now, it looks okay with EMAs and we're the mama. The biggest thing is just this very clear trend line above it, providing some pretty good resistance. But we are kind of just retesting this zone at about 260. So as long as it holds like 260, this actually does look pretty decent. Let's zoom in a little bit. Yeah, the zooming in doesn't look as good if this will load. Yeah, I mean, anything back below 260, probably look for testing this horizontal again. And then we have to reassess. And for full bull boner, nice and girthy erectness, we're probably talking like 287. Daily open and close above that, and I would start to target like 310 to 350 on this biatch. All right, let's see, what else do we got? I need to send some monies to this exchange real quick. Or do I? I'll just wait to do that later. All right, ZEC. Same kind of thing, not that great. Kind of trying to make a basing pattern, but pretty sloppy still. Lower highs, lower lows. Dogecoin BTC is breaking out of the bottom range. Not a surprise considering Bitcoin is rallying really hard. Dogecoin. Actually, on that note, let's go look at ETH BTC pairing. Yeah, look at this. It's lost all of its momentum pretty much. This is interesting. And actually, I do not want this on TradeStation. Give this to me on Bitstamp. No, you little son of a bitch. Give me this on something else. Whatever. Bitfinex will work. Yeah, you can see it is kind of breaking down. So Bitcoin is definitely taking people's lunches right now. Give me that lunch money, it says. Give me that Satoshi monies. All right, let's go to getting continuation. This actually looks pretty gnarly for Doge. I didn't really like it a couple of days ago, and now we're getting follow through to the downside. So sub 24 cents. I do not like this chart at all. There's nothing sexy about that until we get back above 24 pennies. Hex is also interesting here. It's literally just been going sideways for what, a month and a half now. I'm not really sure how to digest this move quite yet. I will say the weekly is about to get pressure on it from the 10 simple, which has provided support in the past most of the time. So maybe we get a move here soon, but I mean, this is just super tight range. And it is technically making lower highs and lower lows on the daily since late September. So just kind of a little funky consolidation there. We get above 50 cents, so it probably runs to 70, and any daily closures below 36 probably is going to come all the way down to like 20 something, maybe 25. We get a bounce, but yeah, it's going to get kind of brutal if we see that. ES, let's go ES. What do we got? ES getting some follow through sell off. Rejection. I mean, this is not healthy. This is lower highs, lower lows. This is not bullish. What are bulls supposed to do? Make price go up. They're not doing that. This is a pretty clear downtrend on the daily. On the weekly, it's barely holding on to the 21 EMA. I think that's pretty much the only bullish, like, longer term thing you can do. Anything on this, any weekly closures below 43.30-ish, I think is going to get really brutal, and we probably come test the mama is what I would look for, this purple line right here. And, you know, that's a good chunk away from where we're at now. And, I mean, there's just nothing showing that it's turning around quite yet. Well, I mean, even the monthly, this is what's so weird, that there's a lot of conflict. Yeah, overall, it is bullish, but we do have an engulfing candle here on the monthly, clear as day, and we have not had one of those since Corona crash, which obviously led to a lot more crashing. The last one before that was here, which it did find support and just continue up. So there's one that didn't have continuation to the downside, but you can see here engulfing, more downside here. Almost engulfing, but still had some more downside. And I'm just kind of looking to back to roughly the last couple years, because this market regime's a little bit, after Corona, things have just kind of been a little bit different. So we're just going to kind of look at that far. We don't need to go all the way back in history. But yeah, so we got a lot of conflicting things, and we're almost getting bearish up into the higher time frames. So bulls really need to step their game up here, and right now getting rejected from the VWAP from this high, and also the 21 EMA, and this trend line. I mean, you can't get bullish until we get over that crap. So easy peasy. And then look at this 3-hour candle that closed, and then immediate follow through after that. Pretty brutal weak attempt by the bulls. So now will we get probably a bounce here? Yeah, probably. I mean, look at all this business right here. Boom, boom, boom. Look at all these connections. See? Look at this. So, yeah, this is an interesting zone. I'm not short anymore. I took my short off because we're kind of sitting on top of these, like, little W areas and consolidations from last week. So bounces are definitely highly probable in zones like this. So I'm going to take my money and run like a thief in the night, boy. I will say, let's go to the NASDAQ. It's doing the same thing. Lower highs, lower lows. Let's look at the weekly. The weekly is being threatened right now. It hasn't closed. We still got 4 days. I mean, so it's whatever. A lot of time on that. So that's not really that relevant right now. The monthly, it did engulf as well on NQ. And so the last time, just like ES, that happened, it was Corona crash and got some continuation. This one does not engulf because the body is up on the upper third of it. So anyway, until we flip these around and break this trend line, I just think it's dangerous to start getting like super bullish on markets. The one pattern I do think that is bullish, though, out of the major indices is this W pattern right here. And as long as we're kind of like holding this horizontal at 34.3-ish, I do think that this is in play. And any closure on a daily above 34.750-ish probably gets continuation, and the measured move on that would be pointing us to new all-time highs on the Dow. So the Dow looking a little bit better. You can even see if we do the same type trend lines that all these have, it is actually technically trying to break and retest the breakout zone. So the Dow's looking slightly better than the other indices. We've got the Russell here. Oh, guess what? It's fucking in the middle of the damn range again. This thing just... between 220-ish, 2220-ish, and 2250-ish, it has lived there like what seems to be 90% of the year, but whatever. There's not really much to do on this. It's super sloppy. I mean, look at all these EMAs. They are literally just flat sideways. The mama's flat sideways. I will say that it kind of has the same thing as the under indices, just a longer-term trend line. And, you know, until we really get above that, this thing is just range-bound. That's pretty much it. I will say, too, that there is a little bit of squeezing here. There's kind of a symmetrical triangle forming in this last latter part of the summer into the fall. And we are pretty much at 70%, 75%-ish, which is generally where those do break. So maybe this week we do get a little bit of... little extra clarification, but the way this thing moves, it'll probably just be like, oh, breakout or whatever, break down, and then come right back into this stupid middle zone. So it just keeps doing that, and until it stops doing that, you just have to assume that's what's going to happen, right? So nothing really there. Let's zoom in a little bit. Yeah, it kind of looks like the same on the low time frames, just kind of hanging out on the tops of the consolidation last week. So that's why I just decided to take it off. Dare say, stuck in a rut? Look at this guy. I don't even think you have kids, and you're coming hard with the dad jokes, brother. Very nice. Hope you're doing all right, Mr. Scott. Let's see. VIX. Okay, VIX is doing something interesting I noticed earlier today. We are making higher highs and higher lows on the structure all the way back to July. So this is an interesting kind of posturing on the VIX that I'm seeing. And let's stretch this little box, this little consolidation box, because you can see it's been tapped many, many times. So this is pretty interesting. If we get a daily close on VIX above 22 bucks again, I do think that this thing will pop pretty damn hard. So this is just an interesting kind of chart. Something to be a little bit cautious about if you're uber bullish. And again, like I said on the equities, man, like there's just not, until we get above these trend lines and make a higher high on the daily, I mean, it's in a downtrend. So easy peasy, man. Don't overthink this crap. That's what makes you lose money. At least that's how I know I've lost a lot of my bad positions, is just overthinking. Good friend of mine, fire jokes. That boy's got that. He goes ham. But he does, you know, he's just getting shook out and just overthinking that shit, man. And I know we've all probably done it. If you've been trading long enough, you've definitely done it 1,000 times probably. So just try to KISS method works real good in trading, man. Oil, look at this. Continuation. Hit our 82 target and backed off immediately. We've been bullish as F on oil for a hot minute. I mean, it just had the most sexy damn chart. For the last pretty much almost, not quite a month, but back over here, retesting the EMAs opening up, and then you get confirmation on DMI on these little clusters right here, and it's just been moonshot. And since then, now do we get rejection here and come back and test the trend line, maybe at like 76, 77, depending how many days it takes? Yeah, I could totally see that. I'm actually kind of expecting that. You can see the 3-hour doji indecision with follow-through already. So this does look like it wants to come down at least to like 78 and change. And I would be looking for probably 77s. And I probably will be a buyer there as well. because this trend is just too damn strong at the moment. Interesting, it came right to the horizontal. This bullshit TA, tea-leaf reading crap works sometimes, doesn't it? Usually it's not the TA or the strategies that makes you not make money. It's the overthinking and overcomplicating stuff and your emotions and confirmation bias that usually will make you lose money. Strategies are all over the place that work. It's generally not the problem there, just at least in my experience. Anyway, let's go back to the price action. Nat Gas coming back to test. Is this a rebuy zone for Nat Gas? Yeah, you could argue that for sure. I don't like... Hold on, let me get my horizontals on here. I don't like that we've made bearish divergence on 3 attempts here, and it's very technical bearish divergence from boom, boom, boom. So that's probably the worst thing about this chart. If it starts dipping below like 510-ish, like the 5 teens, then I would probably look for this to break down a little bit further. I mean, because this has gotten hyped up for a while. I mean, look at this weekly chart. I mean, it's just been beast moding, got bullish as hell on the EMAs and everything right around late May, and it's just been pumping ever since. I mean, it's literally, what is this, like a double pretty much? Yeah, more than a double. So, pretty good. But it's starting to stall out here, just a tad. So maybe be a little cautious there. ZB bonds coming all the way back to this extremely long trend line. This goes back 20 years, guys. Let me zoom out and show you on the monthly. And yes, this did breach here, a little fake out. And I kept the line the way it is, this channel, because it just lines up so well with like 95% of the price action. And here we are again, right at it. So... is this a buy zone for TLT or ZB, however you want to maybe get exposure to this? Possibly, and I will be looking into that over the next week. Bonds generally are pretty slow movers, so you never have to really rush into them, at least in my experience. And let's see, TLT's a fairly liquid instrument. It's not the best, but it does work. You can kind of see here. And we are coming back actually to test TLT major horizontal support, which is also close to the trend line, which I don't have drawn on here. We can just draw a quick little short one right here, but kind of same little spot as you can see. So bonds possibly doing something and being showing us possible long entry here coming up. Let's see. ZN notes are actually way worse. They're all the way low. They actually have broken below. The 10-year has broken below this cluster. Now, is this a buy zone? You have this cluster before this massive run in Corona crash. Possibly. I don't know. We need more days for this. Jumping the gun like that might not benefit your P&L. So maybe just wait a little bit and see. This is firmly bearish right now. As is TNX, obviously, is going to be firmly bullish. We're up at the 160s after tapping the mid-150s. Pull back to the 10 simple, and we keep running. We're at major resistance here in the low 160s. You can see the mama camel hump is right there, this purple line. And so, you know, after the preliminary resistance in the low 150s, which is what we're looking for, now we are at the higher end of that range. And let's see if it can get some momentum. I would expect a little bit of stalling in this low 160s area, though. Dollar's still kind of pumping, looking pretty good. Not quite all the way reset on the weekly, but it's damn close. Another like 2 weeks probably above 93.5. It's probably going to be full reset on a weekly, which is no bullshit on the dollar pairing. Monthly chart. Monthly's trying to also look pretty good. So, man, I mean, there's just not anything bearish about this unless you're even tapping below like 93.70. Until that happens, it's in bull mode. Obviously, it's going to be the opposite on Euro. Euro's just getting worked on these trend lines here, kind of making, look at this shit, it's pretty funny. This long-term breakout, fake breakout twice, and now it's just governing the attempted rallies. And this bottom one's actually kind of hovering on price for the low side, which is kind of funny. If you didn't know, Forex trade's extremely technical, so that is kind of probably why that's going down. But anyway, DAX. DAX does not look good. Still looks terrible. Rallied right up in here. This chart looks very bad to me. You got the rounded top. You're starting to make lowers, lower lows. You've got the lower highs. You've got all the oscillators against you pretty much. The last line of defense is kind of this candle here and this attempt to break down below this body at 14,850. So any price action, I think, back below that is probably going to lead to a breakdown. And there's not really any major support until 14 flat. So I'm going to be a little cautious on the DAX. What would change my mind on that? We start closing dailies above 15.3. We get a few candles above 15.3 on the daily. I would start to change my tune on that one. Shanghai, nice bounce off of here. Kind of funky little pattern. It is rallying up nice against the mama. And man, the weekly actually looks pretty decent on the oscillators. And just off pure price action, I like that it's hovering right here above a 3,500 handle. So as long as it's really above like this swing low here at about 3,540, I don't see any major issues with it. Let's zoom in a tad. Yeah, bulls are trying to defend that mid 3,500 area, so that is definitely the pivot point there. See if bulls can get back above 36, and that would start to look a lot more sexy. Other than that, though, it's kind of just in this tight little less than 100-point range. So no really big edge there. Let's see, gold looking kind of shitty. You got this nasty rejection on Friday after payroll pump and dump. Not very good. I mean, it's trying to hold on here, but it doesn't look great. It's not my favorite chart by any means. I mean, we really need some dailies. The bulls really need dailies above like 1770s. If we don't get any closes above 1770s, it's just in a downtrend. So not very great. Silver looks a little bit better. It's kind of like doing this really tight, ugly, maybe inverted head and shoulders type thing. It didn't get back below its horizontal. So I would give silver a little bit more credit here. Back below 22.30, though, I would start to question the defensive action by the bulls. And above 23.50, man, this thing probably comes back up to at least low 24s. But silver looking a little bit better. Platinum, not so much, giving up some of that rally. I will say that it is nice that it is kind of just testing the tops of these ranges. So not terrible, and it is attempting a breakout from, let me make this line skinnier so we can look. Here we go. This one here, this trend line, it is attempting to break that. So hey, this could be a pivotal point in platinum right here. So can't ignore that when something's actually breaking a trend. And this has also been a trend line that's been intact since the very first week of May. So definitely a little bit of change in behavior there. If we can hold pretty much like 980-ish, and let's look at the weekly. Weekly is also showing about that same area as well. So yeah, it looks pretty nice above 980, and then ultimately we have this long-term trend line that comes in right here above it, and that would give me real big bull boners on the platinum. Palladium bouncing pretty hard off these lows, right to the bottom of the box, rejection almost immediately. So that box is just based off of this tight range right here that has been respected like the Jesus man. Very nice. Not really much to do with this chart yet. Is it potentially going to base out here? Yeah, maybe. Just based off pure price action, what this is doing, as long as it's holding about like upper 19s, it looks okay, but oscillator's still got a lot of work to do. All right, and I think that's probably about it. If anybody wants me to look at something, please put it in the troll box now. If not, then I'll be signing off shortly. Let's go look at the blockchain stocks for a second. Coinbase is attempting to break out of this little bottom box zone we've been watching for a while. As of now, though, it is lower highs and lower lows on the daily still. Still needs a reset. The DMI looks pretty damn good, to be fair. And the 3-hour has just reset all the way on Coinbase. So, above 240, Coinbase actually looks pretty damn good. How about Riot? Yeah, Riot, not so much. This is a funky-ass pattern. I mean, maybe above 24.50 it looks okay, but I don't know. That's kind of funky. MicroStrategy doing a little pump here. Almost resetting on the daily. Shit, this actually looks pretty good above 670. Back below 670, 669. Probably not so sexy. Bit F, I actually bought a little bit of this today. Hey, what's up, Trans? How you doing, man? I actually bought a little bit of this today. Just if the crypto market's going to keep rallying, you kind of have this mini micro W pattern here. And I will quickly let this go if we get back below 490. That'll go bye-bye. But we'll see what happens. I probably jumped the gun on this one a little bit, is going to be my guess. All right, let's go. Hut looks pretty good, unless this is going to be double, triple topping. Really needs the daily to open and close above $11. We do that. Let's do a little bit of fib extension off of this consolidation. We can probably look for like 13 and change. We'll go ahead and put the horizontal there, and then a really far target close up to 20. All right. InView. Oh, this is one I wanted to buy today. Maybe I'll get this one tomorrow. This is supposed to deal with... It's a super penny stock. Obviously, it's 10 cents, but it's supposed to be involved with crypto, some bullshit somehow. Probably, this is very high risk, obviously, but hey, if you trade crypto, then whatever, you're very... akin to risk, you know what's up. And right now I just kind of like where this is at on all of these lows. You know, it's about 10-12%, and if we zoom in here, I'm kind of watching this 3 hour to see if we can get a curl up from this zone that it's in right now. It'll make me feel a little bit better. All right, let's go to these ones you're talking about. DSS. This is not great. This chart sucks. I don't like anything about this chart. It is in a major downtrend. Wow, I mean, this looks terrible. I mean, this is pump, roll over, dump, pump, roll over, dump, pump, roll over, dump. This is an absolutely garbage chart. I don't know what these guys do. Commercial services, printing, and forms. What the hell is that? I don't know. Paper and plastic products for digital imaging, blah, blah, blah. What is it? So it's like a, not DocuSign, but what's that other company? Iron Mountain or something like that, maybe. I don't know. Looks, I don't like it. Yeah, I don't really see anything in this chart. Let's go to a 3 hour. That maybe against this low, if it can hold like 114, like maybe it's okay. I would consider this extremely high risk and most likely to just keep selling off here. What would change my mind about that is price a daily at least above 135-ish. We get a daily open and close above 135, we probably will run to the 160-ish range. But I mean, right now there's nothing helping it. I mean, how about a crack time frame? Not even on a crack time frame. So you literally don't have one time frame that is bullish yet. So I don't like that at all. Oh, the Q-Biddles. I haven't heard. This one's probably rallying, no? No, it's not. Surprising. Well, this one looks a little bit better. This looks a little bit better. You can tell there's actually somebody trading it now, because if we take out this part here, no one pretty much traded it. You can tell by the shitty candles. Only right when it first came out after the previous crash, previous recession, it had some good looking candles, but then it just totally looked like shit. Like, I mean, look at these. These are weekly candles, y'all, so this volume must be really low. Yeah, only 150,000 on the average there, less of the 10-day average. So, but now it is picking up a little bit of steam. It's starting to look like the early part when it first came out 12 years ago or whatever. So there might be something to this. It doesn't have any bullishness yet. Let's get these horizontals up. It doesn't have any bullishness yet on the daily or any of the time frames. I mean, yeah, 7 minutes, not even worth looking at that. So not quite. I guess your best bet here is a hold at about $5, which is still over 10% away. So it's not like the greatest of entries, but I will say something that is interesting here for the bull case is there's this big gap right here, and we have filled it, and the bulls are attempting to defend the gap. So, you know, maybe off of that, if it can hold, let's go to the weekly. 5 teens, 510 to 520. If it can hold 510 to 520, this might get some love to the upside. But for me, if I was trading this, I would wait for the... Whoa, why does the 3-hour only go back to July, but the daily goes back to, like, all the way... That's weird, trading view. What the hell? Yeah, I wish I had some more. I wish I wasn't doing that. Oh, well, whatever. Yeah, holding the 5 levels, it's probably okay. And once we see a closure on a daily above 620-ish, probably can start targeting and looking for retracements. Now, someone could argue that this might be starting to put in a, possibly a saucer pattern. I could totally see that happening. It's only about halfway there. But if this just keeps kind of holding this area, possibly bulls could defend it here at this gap level. So that is an interesting spot that it's stalling at. And if we use the cheat code, volume profile, oh gosh, yes, volume profile says you best bulls. They're actually saying fuck 520s, 5-teens. They say if you lose 560, 555, it's to the abyss you go. So there you go, little cheat sheet on the volume profile. So bam, bada bing. Neither of those are my favorites for bullish positions, but quantum computing is definitely a little bit better. Sweet, awesome. Let's see. Let's go look at the FANG. Actually, let's look at the Corona stocks. Oh, look, the hype is done. I guess no one cares about Corona anymore. That's at least what the market's telling us. How funny, and the market knows more than any of us do. So, yeah, look at that. Oh, dump fest, dump fest, dump fest. Wow, man. Wow, just brutal, brutal, brutal. Looks like no one cares about Corona anymore. Is Novavax actually a buy on the bottom of this range? One could very much argue that. Only $10. I didn't notice that. I might have to do that tomorrow. That's only about 5% risk tolerance. And, oops, sorry, hit the mic there. And, you know, you could probably target middle of the range, so you almost got a 4-to-1 roughly. So, hey, that might be something. All right, let's go to the FANGs. So this is interesting to me. FANGmans, all the markets are rallying except the FANGs. They're not. Netflix and Tesla look okay, but all the other ones look like garbage. Terrible chart. Facebook just getting brutalized. Alphabet. Interestingly enough, it is making this broadening wedge formation here. So, yeah, below a 2,800, though, it's not really that sexy. It's just kind of range bound, it looks like, between about 27 and 28. So until it really gets out of that, not much going. But you can see there is pretty decent downtrends in here. This is really sloppy. Netflix looks still good. Apple's sloppy. Tesla still looks pretty good. One thing about Tesla, though, it does have volatility flashes up here. That has not happened since all the way back in December of 2019, the fall of 2019, which all of those led to very big moves over the next months. And to this instance, it was to the upside. You can see this bitch actually went up almost 200%. The last time we had one of these flashes is all the way back to August of 2016, which actually led to a 20% correction. And before that was over here in May. You can see it's pretty rare, but if you just look at the action, there were big moves, usually at least 20% over the next month or so, and that goes all the way back into pretty much its inception. So I think that is very interesting that we're starting to get a little bit of vol flashes on Tesla. So I'd be very cautious on Tesla right now, especially if you have made some good money on here. For if it was me and I saw that, I would definitely consider taking some of them profits off. But I'm not a financial advisor. I'm an idiot. Don't listen to me. I'm just some jackass on YouTube. So anyway, let's see here. Fuel cells. Are we getting love in that fuel cell industry? Yeah, we're trying to base out here. This is something I think is going to run pretty hard in the near future. I still like these charts. I know I'm clicking through these really, really fast. But I still like the way that they are slowly building. Oh, he wants to look at uranium. Well, let's just go to our uranium action here. Actually, I don't even... Oh, there it is. Oh, consolidating here at the tops. The weekly looks fine. The weekly looks perfectly fine above $6. The daily's starting to be a little bit concerning, but look where we are, right on the mama. This is usually where you'll get some pivot points. So if bulls are going to step in, they probably need to do it in the next week or so. And then any daily closure back below $6 even, I probably would look for a further test of this consolidation range here. And anything back above $7, man, it's kind of easy read. 6, 7. Below 6, you probably are going to look for a pretty substantial pullback. I mean, because this is up here. I mean, to the bottom of this range is 30%, so that ain't no bullshit. So below 6, I'd probably look for at least low 5s. And back above 7, you start building the case that this is just a little liquidation, little consolidation break before the next run. And if that was the case, what could we target on this guy? Pull some fibs. We got something up here, $10 flat. Well, look at that. $10 is a huge psychological number, nice round number too. So that's funny that that actually lines up with that price. And I'd really like to see the daily open and close above 750, and then I would seriously start targeting $10. Back below 6 though, not so sexy. Look at this thing, Centris just pumping, dude. Some of these nuke stocks are just, some are looking really good, some just are very. This one actually looks kind of good. I like that it's breaking back above this consolidation, above $56. This is actually possible winner here on BWXT Technologies. So, interesting. I'm going to throw that on the watch list, actually. Oh, that's the wrong watch list. We need to do, I think, what do I have it as? Orange, right? Yeah. Orange. Okay, interesting. You're, also interesting here, kind of the same as uranium, the UUUs. As long as it's holding about $23, it looks fine. Any price action back above 25, I would probably look for a close test up here into the upper 20s, so not too shabby. Not too shabby. All right, let's see. What else do we got here? I think that's it. I think I'm going to wrap it up. Obviously, energy, everything has been killing it. How about weed stocks? Oh, look at that. Micro penny crap. Actually, don't look at that. Who cares? Who cares? Sundial. I think Sundial is interesting that the bears have been unable to pump it any lower than about low 60s. So that's kind of interesting. It doesn't look great, but... Whoa, what is this? I don't know what this is. Real estate and promotion activities. Sounds like some hype stock. Very terrible. It's probably very illiquid. Oh, yeah. Who cares about that? 16K a day. Psh, get out of here. Probably just need to remove that. ACB trying to put in a little basing pattern. Actually looks okay above 650. Been waiting for these things to turn around. I'm glad I am waiting because look at this shit. It's just been slow. Look, no pumps. 75% bleed out since Mexico went legal on the weed. Just no pumps. Just, ouch. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. There will be a time to buy weed again. It's just not quite yet. Not quite yet. I've tried a couple of times and gotten stopped out of most of them, so hemp is actually looking decent here. Breaking out of this low consolidation. No volume on it, but at some point, it'll be here. Oh, look at VFF hanging out on these lows in the previous breakout at about upper 70s. Huh. All right, all right. Well, so I'm keeping my eye on these guys. I don't see anything yet across that whole sector, so whatever. How about gun stocks? What are they doing? Gun stocks still kind of selling off. I guess the hype has waned off of that as well. I'm still long that one. Yeah, nothing yet. Most of them are just consolidating, not really in any edge there. How about psilocybin stuff? Is that doing anything cool? No, 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 no. Not yet. Nothing there. Solar companies, what are they doing? Let's look at window. This possibly could be a turnaround right here in window by the Bulls. If they hold this pivot point about 440, then this actually is boding well for a potential turnaround right here. And so maybe keeping an eye out on window. Let's see, what else do we got? Knee. Generac. Kind of putting a little rounding top here. Bulls definitely got to defend 380. Oh, what is this? SunPower Corp actually looks like it's attempting to break out here. Hold up. Weekly, interesting. Chilling right on the 55. Needs to get back above 27 handle. But this is interesting. So SunPower Corporation actually looks like it, and it's a big-ass company. SunPower actually looks like it's trying to get something going here. Very interesting. I'm adding that to the watch list, too. Tan, not yet. No, no. In phase, not yet. Close. Some of them are close, but most of them aren't looking too sexy just yet. So, nothing there. Oh, right. Here we go. Let's just look at storage cryptos real quick. Oh, STX. Stacks. They're stacking the sats, dude. Look at that. This actually looks pretty damn good above a $1.70. Not too bad. SC, storage. Storage, hold up. Oh, Storage J actually is pretty nice. This is easy management right here for me, how I like to trade. Back below this 120 area. Maybe pretty much 120, 124. It actually looks fairly decent here. The only thing that kind of sucks is a lower high. And you do have a pretty gnarly trend line right here on the weekly, so maybe not the best spot, but it's close. It's trying. It's trying. All right, let's wrap it up. Gotta go do some car work. Bitcoin looks pretty damn sexy above this. We got 3 hours till the close today. Already it's 4 o'clock. Jesus Christ. So, 3 hours to the close. We got 54,000. As long as we're holding above 54,000-ish, it looks fine to me. On that, biggest concerns is Ethereum not playing. Ethereum is actually saying that bears are about to regain control here off of yesterday's close. And especially this attempted rally by the bulls just gets rejected back below the 10 simple in this horizontal. That is not very good. That's not super sexy by any means. So we'll see if, man, bounce off that level nicely here. So, I mean, they're trying, but already kind of getting rejected again. So until I'm just real concerned about the actual underlying strength of this move because Ethereum isn't playing ball yet. And yeah, maybe is it early to say that? Yeah, most definitely. You know, Ethereum could just take a little while to catch up. That has happened before, especially when Bitcoin takes the lead. But right now, it's just a little concerning. But overall, without overthinking it, above 3,300, it's okay. And it really needs to close a daily above 37 hundos to really start getting some sexy time action. All right, other than that, I think I'm good to go. Much love. Appreciate y'all listening to me and hanging out, participating in the price action. And I think that's it. Awesome. I'll see y'all guys mañana. Peace.